Hi, I'm Luka Jovanovic, a first year medical student, and welcome to the third episode of Lean and Aggressive, the very cutting edge of health, medicine, fitness, wellness, productivity, where I am the guinea pig with nothing to lose, and you are the viewer with everything to gain. Here's everything that worked, what didn't, what I read, and what I learned this past week. If you are new here, please check the link in the description to my Twitter to see what I'm all about. And this is basically where I talk about getting better skin, getting a fit body, and getting a sharp mind, brain, focused so you can outperform other people. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What was bad this week? What didn't work? Where I failed and what I learned from it. Now, look, I can't be bothered eating 8 apples a day. Okay, previous videos I was talking about how I'm not getting enough fiber on my new low nickel diet. So I started eating 6 apples, 5 apples, 7 apples, 8 apples a day to try get some apple pectin. It's a very good, potent type of fiber called soluble fiber. So I was eating that. And I pooed a bit. My stools got better. They improved a bit. But mate, I can't be bothered eating 8 apples a day. It sounds delicious, right? My top 3 apples, the best three in the world, in my humble opinion. Pink Lady apples, number one. Number two is probably Golden Delicious apple, and then three is got to be Royal Gala. Royal Gala, Gala. I don't know. Okay, that one. Those apples are good. They're yummy, but it gets to a point where you eat 8 apples a day, 4.5 kilos a week, and you think, man, Eve or whoever bit that apple, you suck. These things are cool and all, but they're not that good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really beyond that point now. I don't care about the fiber. I don't care about my stool. I don't care about the bowel movement. I'd rather not poo. I'd rather have a crap than eat 8 apples a day. So basically, what I'm getting at is, at least on for the time being, on this low nickel diet, I need to be supplementing my fiber. All right. I first had psyllium husk fiber. I do believe it's high in nickel. If you Google, hey, does this psyllium husk have nickel in it? Everyone's going to say no. But it comes from the outer bran of this weird wheat-looking plant. I'm pretty sure if there is nickel, it's going to accumulate in this outer bran fiber thingy. Okay, so I do think somehow it does have nickel in it, just with it being this outer bran. All right, there are better fiber supplements out there. Apple pectin is one of them, very potent. He gels a lot in the colon, very good. Modified citrus pectin, very very good. Acacia fiber, if you can get it in powdered form, that's very very effective, because obviously when it's a powder you increase the surface area, so more gelling, right? It's just more effective. I can't get any of those fibers here in Cape Town, South Africa. The market isn't as big as in America or Europe or UK, I don't know, where, Australia for example. I can't just go online and get apple pectin at a reasonable price. I can get it imported, but that's 10 times the price. It's not economical, you know what I'm saying? I could get acacia fiber imported, not economic. It doesn't make sense. I can't get my hands on anything yet. So what I did find was acacia gum arabica, I don't know, what edible gum, whatever they call it. It's acacia fiber, but in the natural gum form. So basically, there's an acacia tree and there's sap that grows in the bark of the tree, and you take that and you make these little granules from them. And from those granules, you can either eat them like that, or you can soak them in water overnight, make them a bit softer so you can actually eat it and nibble on it. Or people grind it up into a fiber and they make this thing into a powder and they call it acacia fiber powder, whatever, I don't know. So that basically, I got to supplement fiber, okay? And I have a note at the end which I really wanted to speak about fiber. It's very exciting. I've been doing a lot more research into fiber, but for the time being, I'm not eating 8 apples a day. I don't want to. All right, I'm sorry. And I haven't seen any crazy benefits from it. My stools haven't been amazing. They've been all right. They haven't been, have they been binding to all this bile? Kind of, a little. They've been a bit inconvenient. I need to wipe afterwards. It's not some dinosaur ghost wipe stool, which is good. No, the dinosaur is not good. The fact that it's inconvenient and I have to wipe is good, which means I'm getting rid of toxins. It means the fibers binding to bile. I'm getting better, right? 8 apples a day, not worth it. Monkey wants to take fiber, but there's no fiber in monkey's vicinity. So monkey is just going to be stubborn. I'm the monkey. And monkey not going to take fiber for the time being. Monkey has psyllium husk, but psyllium husk bad. IMO, in my opinion. Moving on. I really want to talk about the fiber thing now, but I'll save it for later. I'm pretty excited about talking about fiber. So I low-key ate some junk this past week. Today is the 8th of June. My birthday was a week ago, 1st of June. I was cutting, I was sticking to the diet, eating clean. I was on my bed late at night eating an apple when someone knocked on my dorm room door, and they came in with a cake. This girl, I won't mention her name. I don't know. Okay, this girl came and she baked a cake for me because it was my birthday, and I was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? I had some venison burgers I made for lunch that day. I spoke to family for a long time. I'm away from home. So it was nice and all. I was with my new buddies, which I met here at university, and it was cool, but I really wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? So when she came in with the cake, I just got warmed up. You know what I'm saying? It was just genuine happiness. I was genuinely smiling. My roommate took photos of me. Everyone was, it was pretty nice. All right. So we all ate this cake in the communal living space area. I had some cake as well. It was yummy. It was just a normal sponge white vanilla cake with icing sugar, but it was good. It was yummy. It was good enough for me to have a second slice. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed that cake. And then on the weekend, I went over to some family friends where this is my third time going there. I knew I was going to eat some junk. So I had a little bit of pizza, about half a pizza, 4 slices. I had a little bit of, she made this lovely crepe, mascarpone cake thing. She made crepes, rolled them up, mascarpone and stuff baked in the. It was, I don't know, it was good. Okay, there was like lemon zest in the. It was yummy. I had some. Okay, I'm guilty as charged. But for the most part, I handled it well. I still tracked calories. I'm pretty sure I'm in a caloric deficit. I did cardio as well just to burn some calories. That's the most you can do. And I made this little 3 point or maybe 4 point checklist on what you can do if you know you're going out for the weekend or going out for dinner that night or holiday vacation. These are some 4 points to guide you, right? The first one would be obviously stay within your caloric range, okay? Within the maintenance. If you're cutting, stay within maintenance. Fine, you can go in a bit of a surplus as long as you're maintaining, right? If you're bulking, win-win, right? So just still manage your calories. Don't completely pig it out. If you're eating a pizza, try only eat half. If you're eating a cake, try get a thinner slice. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Just try stay in a bit of a caloric manageable range. Then secondly, I'd say protein, focus on protein. If you're at a buffet, eat the meat. You know what I'm saying? Eat the meat. That's what fills you out. That's what satiates you. That's what ensures you get the muscles. Caloric deficit ensures you don't get fat. Maintaining the calories, make sure you don't get fat. Hit the protein, make sure you build in the muscle. Number three, I'm gonna go with still get some light activity in. Whether you can go play some sport if you're on holiday, tennis, football, five-a-side, swim at the beach, something like that. Get movement, or go for walks, or you can still do jump rope, or you can still go for a run. Just try get some activity in. Try burn some of those calories. Does that make sense? And number four, super niche. It's called the charcoal sandwich, baby. Basically, this is going to help you get clear skin. So when we all know when we eat food, a pizza, oil, grease, loads of what I believe to be toxic vitamin A. It's got a bunch of bad stuff in it, right? There's grease, there's I don't know, there's retinoic acid in the salami on it, or the pepperoni on it, all kinds of things. There's reinforced flour, There's tomatoes, which are high in vitamin A and beta carotene. No, not beta. I think just carotenoids, plant carotenoids. All these things, in my opinion, in my research, they cause problematic. They cause issues for the skin. We know if we eat this junk food, our skin's going to act up. So what we do is we prepare for it, and we lighten the blow. So it's called a charcoal sandwich. So before we eat the pizza here, we want to go and drink. Take a cup of water, about half a cup or whatever. Glass, put some water in it, okay? What am I doing? And you put a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of charcoal, activated charcoal powder in there. You mix it up. You drink it before the meal. So now in your stomach, there's some charcoal down here. Then you go and you eat the pizza. You eat the cake. You eat the whatever, right? Cool beans. And then when you're done, you go and you take another glass of water and you put some more charcoal in it, half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, and you drink that. So then you end up making a charcoal sandwich in your belly. So you have charcoal, and then you have all this junk food or whatever, and then you have charcoal on top again. So your body or these toxins don't end up they don't get absorbed into the body to the extent they don't get absorbed as much or as well as if you didn't have the charcoal, right? So we're kind of just lightening the blow. Try this out. I've been doing it. It's amazing. I don't break out as much after I eat some crazy food. I feel less lethargic. It's just important to, if you start feeling a bit hazy-ish, dizzy-ish, stuff like it might, as if you're in a hot room or something, just drink water, because charcoal can absorb that water, right? So just keep drinking water, keep flushing, keep flushing. Does that make sense? You want to be peeing white fluid, okay? Charcoal sandwich, try that out. So what did we say? We said make sure you stay in a decent range for calories, hit your protein, get a bit of steps in. Charcoal sandwich. This is for so you don't get fat, so you build muscle. This, I guess, so you can get rid of some toxins, sweat a bit, burn calories as well, and charcoal sandwich for good skin. Then my sleep has also been a bit wonky. I've been going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every day for the most part, but this week was a bit all over the show. I had some tests. I was finishing up my module this semester. I'm going home soon. I'm kind of, lazy and tired. Things are coming to an end. It was my birthday, we're going out for Friday. I'm going to see some friends. That was my vibe. And so I was going to bed a bit later. I was a bit lazy with it. And that's all right, or it's understandable for the most part. But there's another image point I want to get at later on. But basically, here's me, and here's the version of me I'm getting at. And it's not necessarily a straight line, but the path, it can be a straight path, right? And I'm walking on this path, but then there's times where I deviate from the path, right? But then it's important, once we deviate from it and we go astray, to remember, oh, what are we doing? Then we just, remind ourselves, come back, and we start going back on the same path. Then we deviate again and we start eating chocolate fudge. And it's like, oh, what am I doing? Then we come back and we go back to the path, right? So yeah, I messed up my sleep a bit, but it's always just, we need a few principles just to guide us and just to ensure we can get good results. So here's some more principles I am reinforcing now. And my sleep hasn't been perfect, or hasn't been as consistent as it once was, or a week ago. Here's what I'm reinforcing. Last night I slept well, tonight I'll sleep well again, hopefully, and here's what I'm doing. So the hardest part, but the most bang for your buck step, is literally just going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every day. That's the most difficult part, but it's the truth. It is 20% of the effort with 80% of the results. And the key here is just to be consistent with it. And this is the truth, because people don't want to tell you this. They don't want to embrace it or whatever. They much rather tell you to take magnesium or to do, I don't know, some little life hack, blinding, or what's it called, blackout curtains, XYZ, because they can't sell you this tip, right? You just have to go and do it. But they can sell you the magnesium and the curtains and the earplugs and the X, Y, and Z and the nose strips or whatever. Go to bed at the same time every day, wake up at the same time every morning. And in order to help, make this a bit easier, is you want to set an alarm every single evening. Not in the morning only, wake up 5:30 every day, set an alarm for that. But in the evenings, right? For me, I try to go to bed at around 9 o'clock, 9:30. I have an alarm that goes off every day at 7:30. 7:30, I need to go and shower. I stop my work. If I'm talking to people, I have to say peace out, I'm going to bed. 7:30 at night, there's an alarm on my phone and my watch as well that goes off, and I have to go get ready for bed. That's how you start making this thing a bit more inconvenient, but part of your life. That's how you start reinforcing it and how you can actually improve on going to bed at the same time every night. Then try not to eat or drink 3 hours before bed. I've tried 5 hours before bed. I've tried 2 hours before bed. Five, I get hungry. Two, it might take a bit more, especially if it's a bit larger meal. My body can still be digesting it, and which could interfere with my sleep, especially drinking the water pot because I'm quite prone to peeing in the middle of the night. I found 3 hours to be the sweet spot. I haven't woken up to go to the bathroom in a minute. So that works for me. Then orange tinted glasses, blue light glasses. People tell me, yo, bro, that doesn't work. I don't care if it works or not because even if it's placebo, I think it's working. And that's all that matters because I put it on and I feel good. I use those orange tinted glasses for things like this. I'm in the library, right? I'm not using it right now. I'm a bit of a hypocrite, I know. I look around and there's fluorescent overhead lights mimicking the light of the sun at 7 o'clock at night. That is not natural. That is not normal. That is not healthy. That is disrupting my body clock, my circadian rhythm. Everything that I'm talking about, this is getting in the way with it. Those lights are the best thing you can do to put your eyes in a gentle, warm state. All right. It changes the light. Like, buy a pair and put it on your eyes, bro, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Your eyes feel a lot more at ease, all right? Especially when I go to my bed and I have a dimmed lamp on and I read a bit and I have these orange tinted blue light blocking glasses on. It's warm, all right? My eyes can rest and they can finally get sleepy and dazy and hazy and get lazy. I might be white, but my hair's still wavy. I say, let's go, like I'm the baby. Don't blame me. I've been making way too much money as of lately. Okay, whatever. Then the fourth step, I'd say, is some kind of routine. What I do is 7:30 I shower, or 8 till 8:30, 7:30 till 8-ish. I shower, then I go and I journal, I plan the following day. I record some of my weight, my calories, my protein, habit track, etc. Then I lie down in my bed to read for 10 minutes or so, and then I go to bed. We need a bit of a routine to get in the zone. Similar to how MJ or Kobe Bryant would get in the zone in this Mamba mentality, right? He'd have some ritual to get him in the zone. The same way when you study, you want to do meditation beforehand or focus on a pen for beforehand or something like that. You need a certain practice to get you in the zone. When you're going to enter a state of rest, slumber, sleep for 8 hours, you need something to get you in the zone, to prone you. For me, what I found to work really, really well is reading. Lie down in bed, have the book open, and just read a little. 10 minutes or so. It's really worth it. It really goes a long way. Next, I notice I'm just really cold. My hands get really cold, and my feet, my toes get really cold. And the other night it was pretty cold. We were out, and I needed a bunch of layers to really finally feel warm. Compared to my buddies who just had, I guess, shorts on, and they just, what is with this mic, man? And they just had, yo, why are you making noise? Maybe they're knocking on the wall because I'm making, whatever. They had barely any layers on. They felt warm. Well, I had a bunch on and I felt cold. So I just feel like I have been slightly colder and not so warm. And that could be a circulation issue. It could be some blood sugar issue. It could be whatever. I don't know yet. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an idea what that could be yet. But I'll figure it out. I'll note that. I'll proceed with caution. Uh, yeah, and I can notice my hands sometimes get a little bluish, pale-ish when it's cold. My pinky toe can get a little cold. But my assumption is I'm not getting enough fat in my diet because I track everything on MyFitnessPal, and I've been eating so much fruit, so many apples, and so many bananas. And I've been eating more lean chicken breast as opposed to beef, less fat. More fruit and chicken breast, practically zero fat. I've been eating a bit of sourdough bread, a little bit of pasta, and a little bit of lean ground, even then it's extra lean ground beef or venison ground beef or venison ground venison meat. Minimal fat. So my assumption is I haven't been getting enough fat. And I've been avoiding the olive oil because calories, bro. So that's just something I have to consider. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to bump down, lower my apple intake, and just eat more pasta, eat more meat, get some more red meat in there just to get some more fat in there. Does that make sense? So I've been eating way too much apples, way too many apples in the hopes of getting more fiber. But I think I'm going to cut down on the apples, find supplemental fiber somehow later on, and excuse this mic, sorry, and get some more fat in there. Hopefully that sorts things out. I don't know. Then my hands have been quite dry, and my lips have gotten dry out of nowhere these last 2 days. I can see my lips are getting better, but they did get really dry over the weekend somehow, for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was cold, maybe it was the food I had. I really don't know. That's just what I've observed. My hands, my knuckles have gotten a bit drier. And on my fingertips, what is with this? Don't say it. Don't say it. And my fingertips have gotten, like they get those little strands of skin you can just pull off. Yeah, I've been getting a few of those. So I don't know why that is. But we'll figure it out. I'm moving forward. That's a problem. I didn't say we got solutions here. But then I'm going to talk about the good. What was good this week? What worked? It's a slightly longer but a bit more concise list. So I've been putting loads of salt on my food. I've been electrolyte maxing, to say the least. But no, really, I don't know why. I was putting loads of salt on my food out of nowhere. Just almost like similar to how pregnant women just have these weird cravings like peanut butter and, I don't know, feta cheese or something. I had this weird craving for salt out of nowhere. I was just like heavily salting my food, putting salt in water out of nowhere. And then there's this other person on Twitter who, her name's Eda, EDA, that's the account. And they were talking about how they've also been putting loads of salt on their food, but now they're on a low nickel diet. So I don't know what the correlation or association there is. But hey, two of us are on the low nickel diet and we significantly salting our food almost out of a craving or a need for it. So I don't know why that is, but I felt pretty good. My gym workouts have been good. I've been feeling better. Energy's been more stable. Not any significant crashes throughout the day. Is that all due to salt? Probably not. There's some more changes I've implemented, which I'll mention later. But I've been eating loads of salt, and I've been having quite a bit more potassium chloride, sodium-free salt, putting a bit more of that in my water, a bit more of that on my food, and it's been good. Yeah, what's important to know with the salt is I use a non-iodized salt. We don't need all this extra iodine. We don't need that hyperthyroidism, bro. I use a pure white salt, none of that pink Himalayan salt garbage. What the pink Himalayan salt is, biggest scam ever. You have white salt, it's literally just red rust on the salt. White, red rust, pink salt. It's literally you're eating rusted salt. I don't understand that. It's iron oxidizing. It's red. Come on. Come on. Not good for you, bro. And it's raising your ferritin levels potentially. And then no minerals in the salt, none of that Celtic sea salt, none of that weird granule stuff. Just get the refined, pure white sea salt. Sure, there might be some extra calcium, there might be some extra sodium or potassium or whatever in your salt, but there's going to be a bunch of extra other metals as well, and other minerals which you don't necessarily need. There'll be some extra lead, there'll be some extra mercury, there'll be some extra copper. there'll be some extra, uh, I don't know, cadmium. Like you don't need all these metals. You don't need all these minerals. Okay, so just cut them out. What you need, the minerals you want to max out, especially now, is magnesium, sodium, zinc, selenium, and I'm doing more research into molybdenum. That's all you really need for the moment, or bang for your buck kind of vibe. Then before my gym, you know how all the bodybuilders say, yo, you want to carb max before and after gym, raise or spike your cortisol, or no, not cortisol, your insulin. So I have been doing that. I've been consuming more carbs before going to the gym, and it's been working really well. What I've been doing is I've just been eating a slice of sourdough bread and a banana. Nothing crazy, no need to eat a bunch of rice cakes and honey and put the bunch of bananas, just one banana, one slice of bread, about 30 minutes to 60 minutes before my workout, and I felt pretty good. I was also sipping on potassium chloride and sodium salt throughout, sprinkling my water, and I've been sipping on that throughout my workouts, and that's pretty good. So I get carbs beforehand and electrolytes throughout the workout, and I've been enjoying my workouts. I've been able to push and progress through my lifts, and I've been tracking and recording it so I can see I'm getting an extra rep in, or I'm upping the weight for one of the one of the movements or exercises. So there is benefit or improvement with it. Then I made a tweet this week about my olive oil soap transformation. Olive oil soap bar. I literally just use one little bar for my whole body. I don't use soap, shampoo, conditioner in my hair. I just use water. I don't get dandruff. My hair doesn't get brittle or frail. My hair used to be straight. Now it's somewhat wavy-ish. There's texture to it at least. My hair's thick and natural, stronger. You don't need soaps. My skin, I don't cleanse. I don't do any of this stuff. My skin's improved a lot. I literally don't get pimples anymore. My keratosis pilaris is improving. My rosacea is improving. There's no product that's going to save you here. And I'm not giving credit to the soap, but I am giving credit to the soap because it's literally two ingredients in the olive oil soap. It's olive oil and then some other ascorbic acid or something. Or I forgot which kind of, some soapy compound, right? Something which you need to make it soap. It's literally the bare minimum. Olive oil and that thing. And then there's water. They call it liquid Castile soap or something, or not liquid, olive oil Castile soap or something like that. Two ingredient soap made of olive oil. The reason that's so good, in my opinion, is because it doesn't give me any superpower or buff or zinc for your skin to absorb, blah blah blah. No, but it doesn't give me any problems either. It just gives my body a neutral base. It gets rid of a bit of dirt, bit of sweat, bit of toxins on my skin. Nothing too abrasive, nothing crazy, and it just lets my body heal. All right. Also with sweat, I think it's very important to use soap on your armpits where your sweat glands are, and the groin area, and obviously your bottom. And I guess you can use your feet as well if you want. But you don't need soap all over your body. You don't need it all over your limbs and all these things. What's most important is you get a clean water source to shower in, and then you just use some soap to get rid of the toxins which you sweat out during the day from your armpits, from your groin, from your bum bum. That's most important. So I'd like to give a shout out to the soap because it's just giving my body the chance to recover, right? That's the same thing with diet. We don't need to be eating all these superfoods and the antioxidant and the ashwagandha and the sea moss and the ginger shot and all this other whatever antioxidant, polyphenol rich, blah blah blah, aubergine, well, whatever these weird foods are. Okay, just eat basic, bland, neutral foods which give your body necessary protein, carbohydrates, electrolytes, fat to just maintain and heal itself. Okay, your body will sort itself out in due time. The thing is, people don't want to wait. They don't know how long to wait. So that's the problem. And then they want to go and eat these other random superfoods and I don't know, the dragon fruit and the papaya and the antiyoung and the pineapple and the everything. And it's like, bro, just eat a normal, minimal diet. Okay? And your body will sort itself out. Just don't give it any more problems Forget about adding, helping it out, and giving all the good stuff. Just don't give it more problems. It'll fix itself. That's the approach I've been using, and it's been bringing me some good, clearer skin, leaner body, better focus. Then another point I want to mention is literally, this is a bit more mental, mind, brain. It's all about consciousness. All about consciousness. I made a point in the previous episode how routines are there to just elevate us and to make us better. We have daily goals we want to achieve in the day, right? Work out, get 10K steps, study X amount of hours, or produce this video. We have the routine in place to just help us achieve these goals, right? So I wake up and I study for 2 hours. That helps me achieve the goal of studying X amount of hours, right? After I eat a meal, I go and I jump rope. That helps me get my cardio in, for example. But what the problem is if we now start messing up the routine, and then we start worrying and we start getting off track and we start, getting scared and we start getting fragile. The routine makes us more fragile. That's a big mistake. We want the routine to elevate us, to make us more competent. So it's literally, when we start messing up, when we start deviating from that path I mentioned earlier, when we start eating some junk, when we start going to bed later, or not studying or something like that, messing up is part of the process. Not being perfect is understandable. All these things make sense. It's going to happen. But we always want to default back to our path. We always want to come back to our routine. We always want to come back to some level of equilibrium. All right. So yeah, I was going to bed at midnight, 11 o'clock. I was going on my phone. I was getting the blue. I was eating some cake. I was eating some pizza. But I'm always coming back to this equilibrium. To this, okay, going to bed at about 9:30, waking up at about 6. I'm always coming back to this balance, coming back to that path of, oh yeah, okay, I am in a caloric deficit. Okay, I am building muscle. Oh, okay, I am getting, hitting the gym multiple times a week. I am putting a lot of stimulus on my muscles to grow. You know what I'm saying? So we're always coming back to this equilibrium. Even if we deviate, that's all understandable. It's like homeostasis, right? Glucose levels increase, but glucose levels also drop. But then they always come back to this normal range, and that's what we're talking about. That's what we want. But what's key is just, even when it drops, you want to be conscious that you dropped, so you know to come back. Even when you're really high, you want to be conscious that you're really high, so you always know, come back down. I know I'm going to bed late. Be conscious of that, so you can always go to bed earlier. You know what I'm saying? I feel really, really tired and burnt out waking up at 4 in the morning. Be conscious of that, so you can go to bed, so you can wake up 5:30. Does that make sense? It's literally all just about consciousness. Then, oh yeah, that's good. What I've been trying out is smaller, more frequent meals. I've been really enjoying that. Before, I used to just skip breakfast, fast in the mornings, and then eat a massive lunch, and then just feel bloated and my energy would drop throughout the day, and that sucked. So what I've been doing now is I have been eating breakfast, but a slightly smaller breakfast. So I would just do some lean meat, a little bit of meat, eat a banana, sip on some electrolytes in my water, and that would be that. Just a pretty light meal. Get about 20 grams of protein, a little bit of carbs, and just move. I wouldn't do any of the pasta or the bread yet. I would say that more for before and after my workout later in the day, but I would just get a little bit of meat, a little bit of fruit in, and move. Then I would come back at lunch. That would be about 7, 8 in the morning. Then I come back for lunch at about 12, and I would eat a bunch of salad and some more meat, maybe a little bit more fruit, maybe a little bit of pasta or bread if I want. And then I'll move on again. And then at about 3, I'll have, so 12 would be lunch. And then at 3, I'll have pre-workout, which would just be some bread and some banana, or some pasta and banana. Get some carbs in, go work out. Right after my workout, eat more meat and eat more pasta or bread. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting more balanced meals throughout the day. So I was spiking my muscle protein synthesis several times throughout the day. And my body didn't have this massive toll on it all at once at midday to go and digest this massive food, this massive meal. So I had smaller meals, more digestible, literally, easier to manage meals throughout the day. So my energy was just a lot more stable. That's definitely what I'm doing moving forward. I'm eating breakfast having a small breakfast, having a light, balancing it out. Instead of just two big meals, I'm balancing it out into four. So I feel a lot better. I'm not overeating. I'm not binging. I'm not thinking about food all the time. I actually feel good finally, for once. My energy doesn't crash. My energy doesn't drop. Four meals, feel pretty stable. Then what I've also been doing is I haven't been napping as much, but I have been, after I eat, I have been more conscious once again of jumping some rope, getting some movement in after each of my meals. So I'll eat breakfast, and I'll go and jump a little bit and walk to the library to study. Lunch, eat it, jump a little bit of rope, walk to the library, or walk to my lecture, 5 minute walk. Pre-workout, eat it, go to the gym. After dinner, I'll eat it, jump a bit of rope, walk a bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like literally just getting a bit of movement after each of these little meals is so clutch because it just jump starts this digestive process. So you help the body start get up and running, and then it's not even this crazy massive meal which your body has to digest. It doesn't have to spend all this energy trying to break it down. So you can still have this energy to go and think, to go and focus, to go and engage with other people, and to outperform them, to crush their skull. So I don't know what that part was. And I have been focusing on, especially for lunch, it's a bigger meal in the middle of the day. It's important, right? If I mess that one up, if I binge eat, overeat, my afternoon gets cooked. So I've been focusing on eating a lot of insoluble fiber, loads of lettuce, iceberg lettuce, loads of peeled cucumber, basically a big salad. And that's been filling up volume so I don't eat as much. The insoluble fiber has been helping my colon. It's just been helping like slow that whole digestion process a bit, spacing it out, making it a lot easier. So I highly recommend getting some insoluble fiber. I talk a lot about soluble fiber because that's what actually binds to bile, gets rid of toxins. But insoluble fiber is just as clutch because he spaces out this whole process and slows down that whole digestion thing. So you start, it's like the energy expenditure is a lot more spaced out. So you don't have this massive crash. That's my understanding of it. So try get some lettuce or some cucumber in there, and it's been working for me, and I think you should maybe try it out yourself. Moving after each meal, that's very important. That's been replacing my naps. And yeah, literally 5 minutes is so overpowered. Literally just 5 minutes of jump rope or 5 minutes of walking. That's all it takes. Just move. Just don't lie down. Don't sit on your phone. Just eat your food and get up and go a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then smaller, more frequent meals, light movement after each one, energy a lot more stable, less digestion crash. Amazing. Oh yeah, then gym. For legs, look, I'm not a gym bro. I'm not massive. I'm not huge. If you're bigger than me, just skip over this part. If you're hitting legs and you're not doing adductor, AD, there's my alarm going off my watch to tell me to go to bed and start showering, get ready. I'm gonna bypass that because I got YT video to make because I'm famous in that. 15 views in that. Okay, so do the adduction movement in the gym if you're hitting legs, if you're training legs. That's such a big muscle on the inner part of your thigh. I don't know why you wouldn't be hitting it. It's so overpowered. Literally just just do 2 sets next leg day, and you're growing such a massive portion of your leg. I don't understand why you wouldn't be hitting that. Then ankle cuffs. Oh my days. When you do lateral raises, cable lateral raises in the gym, you set the thing down at the bottom, right? And you use the handle most of the time. Try use an ankle cuff. If you have, use it and you put it around your wrist like this. You don't have to use your forearm anymore. You don't have to use your arm holding this thing. You can just get full activation of that side, of that lateral delt. It's insane. I've never felt my muscle like that before. I've never actually touched my lateral delt after the gym and felt sore, specifically in that area. Try it out. Use the cuffs, the ankle cuffs. And then same for tricep push down. Use the ankle cuff. It's just such a natural movement. It takes away so much like toll and stress off the forearm and everything else. You can legit just focus and fully target that tricep and fully target that lateral delt. Chef's kiss, you're welcome. Then bicep curl. I've been getting all this stuff from Twitter. Twitter is such a valuable space to be in. And I give people credit on Twitter. I don't know what he's called. His name's like JJ or something. Some jack dude on Twitter. I've been learning all this stuff from him. Bicep curls, you want to have upper arm support. So you can use the preacher curl thing, or you can use the lat pull down machine. It's got that thing sticking out for your legs to put them under. Use that, sit on that, and then use that to support your upper arm. Or you can sit on the preacher curl thing, but just sit backwards, so you have some support in your upper arm, and you can just fully target the bicep. It's an amazing pump. Or you can sit on an incline bench and have your arms hang back like that. Then you do the bicep. It just isolates it a lot better. And I dropped down weight, but I just got a way better pump or, stimulus on my bicep. So try this out, guys. It's really cool. Then for sleep, get comfy foam ear. Oh, yeah, of course. I've been thinking about it. Getting, when you sleep, right, or when you study, there's a bunch of senses. There can be smell, there can be sight, there can be hearing, there can be taste, there can be all this stuff which can interfere and distract us from sleep, from studying, from whatever. When we're sleeping, if we can just, the more of those senses we can scratch out, the better. So if we can put like $1 foam earplugs in our ear when we go to bed and not hear anything and completely scratch out any noise we can hear, that is such a great ROI on our sleep. If we can put on a silk eye mask on our eyes and just see black and scratch off an entire sense which could possibly distract and hinder our sleep, that is so OP. The ROI on that is so overpowered. So I really recommend just getting foam earplugs or any earplugs that are comfortable enough for you to sleep in, and getting a silk eye mask. Don't cheap out on the eye mask. Get a silk eye mask and sleep in that. It's dark and you don't hear a thing. You will sleep better. And then a hack I want to mention out again is when you lie down to sleep, don't lie down on your pillow first. Just move that up and then just lie down on the mattress first. So that's like a bit harder. It's a bit more uncomfortable. But then once you get uncomfortable from that, then you switch back to the pillow and the pillow feels even more comfy. So you just fall asleep a lot quicker, a lot easier. It's that contrast which makes it that much comfier. And then niacin, flush niacin, vitamin B3, nicotinic acid. I've been taking it a lot more, or just being a lot more conscious of taking it daily, and it's really, really good. I it, I know it's something to do with NAD plus and NADH and electron carriers in the body, but when I take it, I just feel good. I feel almost like I have a pump in my forearms. I just feel all the blood flow. I feel it's circulating. It almost feels like my brain is sharper and I have this enhanced mental cognition. I can think better. I have blood flowing. I just feel awake. I feel good. I feel it's weird. I don't necessarily have to flush each time, but I just feel really good when I take even just one little pill. I think it's 25 milligrams of flush nice and vitamin B3. I feel really good. I feel really awake. I feel sharp. I can think, and just blood flowing. I just feel it's something to do with the electrons and the NAD plus and NADH. I haven't done any research. Do your own research. Consider it. Then classical music game is good. So I mentioned how I really like working out with music because I have been on a mission to lower my dopamine benchmark baseline level. And I've been eating less stimulating food, not playing video games, not going on social media, having a boring life. But the one thing that just can't go is music. I need to listen to music in the gym. It's stimulating, yeah, but I need that bit of stimulation because if I cut it out, my body's like, yo, whoa, time out. What are you doing, bro? Like, we're getting scammed. We need some stimulation. But what I found to take just one step down from that stimulation is classical music. Classical music is good enough to sound good and to enjoy it a bit, but it's not like I can still get some stimulation from it. It's not that boring, but it just doesn't have any of the negative programming that modern day rap does or hip hop and pop. It's not just, oh, my heart's broken and I loved her and I'm about to get me a bag and shoot this boy in the back of the head. Like I don't want that programming in my ears the whole day, or when I'm at the gym, because that compounds. So classical music, you know, he got his debut, and I think he's here to stay. Like, try it out; it's pretty cool. It also makes you feel pretty deep. Everyone's listening to Katy Perry or whatever. You're just out there listening to Tchaikovsky, Godin, Petrovich. You know what I'm saying? You're listening to all this. It could be a bit performative, but as long as no one knows what you're listening to. Classical music, yeah, definitely here to stay. And then do daily movement, jump rope after walking, need habit stack. Okay, so with anything, it's important that we habit stack. So it's when I was like, oh, I'm gonna start jumping 4K jumps each day. How in the world do I actually make that consistent? It's all about like there's things which you do every day, right? I eat 4 meals every day. I go to the gym every day. So if I can just jump a little bit after I study every day. If I can jump 1,000 times after I study, if I can jump 500 times after each one of my meals, and I have four of them, that's 2,000 jumps. So, and then if I can jump 500 times before gym and after gym, that's 1,000 jumps. So it's 1,000 after studying, it's 1,000 with gym, and then it's 1,000 or 2,000 with my meals. So we need to find things which we do naturally every day, and then we do it around those things. We structure around these habits which we already have. That's how we get consistent with jumping rope or walking or getting steps in and stuff. Oh, then garlic. I don't know why it's there. Okay, I don't know why I wrote that there. I have a garlic hit piece coming soon. Another good thing is my hands. I know my hands and lips have been low-key dry, but my neck, my shoulders, and my upper back, my upper chest as well. It's been a lot smoother because I've always had really rough keratosis pilaris, and I've noticed that these parts of my body have now been getting a lot smoother. They're getting a little shinier. I don't know if that's hydration or moisture or something, but they've been looking a lot better in the mirror. Not that that has anything to benefit your life at the moment, but I've been on a low nickel diet for some time now, and that could potentially be one of the benefits. Then some thoughts I have. This is just my ideas and things I'm thinking about doing research on. Is I have this family friend who I was just staying at, and I could see that his eyeshadows were really bad. I feel like mine haven't been as bad this past week. I don't know how or what that is, but maybe. I noticed that his eyeshadows were pretty bad. And I don't know if that is some vitamin deficiency that's causing his eyes to thin, his skin to thin right there or something. But then I was sleeping with him in the same room, not the same bed, relax. And I heard him snoring from his mouth, like, damn, I heard him snoring from his mouth, like, and the first thing I thought about was cranial collapse. His oral posture, his mouth posture is poor, causing maxilla to drop, cranial collapse, eyes to collapse. So that's just another reason to look into the Revive mouth guard. Anyway, a thought I had was mini reusable toothbrushes. I got this on Twitter from EDA. Everything's on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you want. If not, whatever. Mini reusable toothbrushes, which you can throw away. You brush your teeth for that day, you throw that thing away. Okay? Because our toothbrushes are accumulating mold and bacteria on them. Think about it. It's wet, it's moist, it's in a dark environment at night, and it's in a cool environment because bathroom's kind of cool. Cool, dark, moist. That is a breeding ground for mold and bacteria and fungi. And plus, what are you doing with your teeth? You're brushing away all this food and this bacteria which you've accumulated throughout the day. Your toothbrushes most probably have a bunch of dirt and a bunch of weird gunk on them. So if we're brushing our teeth every day with the same toothbrush, that could be causing some sinuses potentially, or some, I don't know, some bacteria, some problems in our mouths. Food for thought. But if we have these little disposable toothbrushes, we're kind of bypassing or mitigating that step. Then This one's going to be controversial. Don't take your advice from me. Do your own research, XYZ, you get the idea. MSG, monosodium glutamate, not bad. I've been putting it on my food. I've been enjoying it. I've been doing, I've been seeing some benefits from it, I believe. I've been doing more research into it to see why, to understand why, and to argue it. So here's my argument for why monosodium glutamate, MSG, is actually good for you. I don't know if it's good for you. I don't know if it's bad for you. But if I had to pick here and here right now, I would say it's good instead of saying it's bad. So here's why. So I made some notes. What is monosodium glutamate? No, what is MSG? It's monosodium glutamate. Okay, it's mono, one sodium to one glutamate. What is sodium? Sodium is salt. What is glutamate? Glutamate is the most abundant neurotransmitter in the brain. All right, I'll get to that. So some foods that are high in glutamate are beef, are eggs, are tomatoes, are cheese. These are all foods which humans naturally crave. Is it because we have low glutamate levels and we're craving foods high in glutamate? Potentially. I don't know. Maybe these foods just taste good. Glutamate is great, most abundant neurotransmitter in the brain. So what does he do? Firstly, I'm reading some notes here, okay? Cellular fuel and energy production. When you exercise your skeletal muscles, your muscles on your body, they need glutamate to keep up with the intense energy demands. Let me actually tell you what sources these are from. That is from ScienceDirect.com. During long workouts, your muscles need energy for branched chain amino. Okay, whatever that means. Leucine, isoleucine, valine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Muscles break down, blah, blah, blah. Fuel muscles. They must transfer the nitrogen waste directly to glutamate, making glutamate the central coordinator of muscle amino acid burning. American Physiological Society Journal. Glutamate helps power the purine nucleotide cycle working muscles, which plays a major role in generating extracellular energy when oxygen levels drop during high intensity training. National Institution of Health.gov. Then, glutamate is also important for muscle protein synthesis. Glutamate is not just a building block used linearly to build muscle fibers. It acts as a primary cellular architect and signal. It literally builds muscle. Anabolic signaling activation.